The Boston Celtics are in the midst of having an A-plus offseason and have already made some franchise-altering moves thus far. With that being said, the media and the fans around the world are already claiming that the Boston Celtics are clear favorites to win the NBA Finals next season. However, that couldn't be further from the truth, and this is coming from a Celtics fan. Brad Stevens and the Boston Celtics have so much work to do from here on out, and in this video, I'll be breaking down the ins and the outs of what's to come for the Boston Celtics as we approach the start of free agency, but also why I believe they can get over the hump next season and actually complete their goal of winning the championship. But like I said, there's still so much to be done, and I'll tell you guys all about it here in this video. However, before we jump into the video, I need you guys to do me a huge favor and smash that like button if you haven't already done so. It helps out the channel so much, so let's even get the video up to 500 likes. Also, subscribe to the channel if you're new. I will be covering the Boston Celtics all off-season long, and I also will be live streaming games every single Celtics game next season, including Summer League games. I'm going to be live for, so if you want to watch some of those games live with me on this channel, make sure you guys join the family and turn on post notifications so you're notified every time we drop a Celtics video or every time we drop or go live for a game as well. But without any further ado, let's jump into today's video. So as we all know, the Boston Celtics were involved in a huge blockbuster trade that sent Porzingis and 2 first-round picks to the Boston Celtics. In exchange, they sent Marcus Smart to the Grizzlies, and a bunch of other pieces were going to the Washington Wizards, who look to be in a full rebuild from here on out. Now, as a Celtics fan, many of us know and many of us realize that losing Marcus Smart could be incredibly difficult because he was strictly the heart and soul of our team, and he was the longest tenured Celtic until his departure. Now it's Jaylen Brown, I believe. Correct me if I'm wrong. But with Marcus Smart gone, this very well could hurt the Celtics team chemistry and the overall morale of the locker room going into next season. Now, don't get me wrong at all. I like the idea of having Porzingis in Boston, and I absolutely love his talent and what he adds in terms of his play style. I made a whole video about what he brings to Boston. You guys can go check that out. I dropped it a couple of days ago. Go check that out if you haven't already done so. But don't get that confused. I love Porzingis, and I love the fact that we have him in Boston. However, he is currently only on a 1-year deal, and who's to say we didn't just trade or give up a former Defensive Player of the Year for someone who potentially could be a 1-year rental in Porzingis. Now, with that being said, Brad Stevens is able to extend Porzingis on July 6th, which is coming up here in a few weeks. Now, the good news is that everything that I'm hearing, Kristaps and the Boston Celtics are on the same page in terms of agreeing on an extension at some point soon. Hopefully that happens. The Celtics can offer him a 2-year, $77 million contract on July 6th. We'll see if that gets done, and that will secure him for at least 3 seasons, which would be huge for the Celtics going forward. But this is something that needs to happen or needs to be done, in my opinion, because if he ends up walking in free agency, then, this could, make Jason Tatum, it could make Jaylen Brown unhappy, and they could potentially, request a trade or leave the team as well. And that leads us right into another player that they need to re-sign as soon as possible, Jaylen Brown. 95% of the Celtics fan base can agree that Jaylen Brown is young, he's hungry, and has gone better each and every single year, and he'll continue to do so. Re-sign Jaylen, extend Kristaps Porzingis, and those should be the first 2 major stepping stones that the Boston Celtics take in terms of building and improving this championship roster. Now, if they can get these 2 things done, there's still a ton of work to do in terms of adding players in free agency, checking out who's available in trade talks, and just doing free agency and offseason things. They need to get those things done as well. But like I said, the first 2 things they need to get done is extending Porzingis and re-signing Jaylen Brown. Now, the big question is about free agency. Which players would fit in well with the roster that we currently have built right now? Now, that is a huge question. A lot of people have their different opinions, and I want to hear from you guys. Before I jump into who I think would fit in the Celtics roster right now, comment down who do you believe would fit in well with this Celtics roster. Also, smash that like button, subscribe to the channel if you're new, join the family. Like I said, I will be covering the Celtics all summer long, so make sure you guys join the family. But let's talk about some of the guys I think could fit in with the roster. I will be trying to, go through all the comments. So make sure you guys comment. I will respond to you if I think it's a good fit or if it's a bad fit. But let's talk about who I think is a fit. And also, I want you guys to comment if you disagree with me, because listen, it's all opinionated. I want to hear what you guys think as well, because as Celtics fans who are probably watching this video, I want to hear your opinion as well. Now, the first player I have on my list is Yuta Watanabe. Now, as we all know, Grant Williams is a guy who potentially might leave in free agency or maybe even in a sign and trade. But, Grant was someone who was deadly in terms of shooting the three ball throughout the entirety of the regular season. I believe he shot upwards of 39% from the three-point line, which is, very good. We also have to understand that Joe Mazzulla wants to shoot as many threes as possible. That's just the offense he runs. And, it's respectable. Sometimes it didn't work for us, but I think next year, another season under that system, I think it could help us, especially adding a guy like Watanabe. Now, Watanabe is one of the most lethal three-point shooters in the game of basketball. Watanabe threw 58 games last season for Brooklyn, averaged 5.6 points, 2.4 rebounds, which I know isn't anything crazy. However, he did shoot an outstanding 49.1% from the field and 44.4% from deep, which is truly unbelievable. Not only will he help space the floor like no other, but he'll also make life so much easier for guys like Jalen and Jason when they're driving to the hoop, drawing multiple defenders, and teams will have to think twice about leaving Watanabe, about leaving Sam Hauser, about leaving Kristaps Porzingis, Al Horford, and the list goes on and on. Malcolm Brogdon, Derek White. I mean, just imagine being the opposing team having to figure out, do I double team Jason driving baseline wide open to the lane, or do I double team him and leave Watanabe wide open in the corner, or do I leave Sam Hauser in the corner? You know how difficult the game plan against the Celtics would be if they landed a guy like Watanabe. It would be insanely vital, insanely crucial for the Celtics offensive game plan going forward. Now, another guy I want to bring up, and I'm not going to talk too much about these guys. These are just thoughts, not anything. There's not too many rumors saying that this is going to happen. So this is all just guys who I think potentially could be available for the Celtics to get. So don't read too much into it. I just want you guys to think about the fit personally, how you guys think it would fit in together. Another guy I want to talk about is Torrey Craig. Craig is a guy like Grant Williams who can be a dog in terms of on the defensive side of the ball, but he also shot around 40% from three last season. And I think Torrey Craig's a guy who, might not want the ball. He's not a guy who's going to demand the ball in his hands, but he is a guy that can catch and shoot. He's a guy that can defend 1 through 4. Someone who could be very versatile in terms of defensively. And, there was a time in the postseason where I believe that the Celtics defense needed to be better, and I feel like Torrey Craig could definitely help out on the aspect. He's not going to come in and be able to defend guys like Joel Embiid or Nikola Jokic or some of those big guys, but I do think he can, pretty much clamp up guys through 1 through 4 and just be able to throw another body on a guy like, Kevin Durant or, a guy like James Harden or whoever it may be. I feel like he can, or Giannis even. I think he'd help on Giannis a little bit. So I do think Torrey Craig would be a decent addition to this team as a wing player, especially if Grant Williams does decide to leave this team. Now, I think there are a ton of other guys who could definitely help Boston next season. Like I said, comment down below, who is your dream scenario? Who do you want Boston to get? But there's also a possibility that Brad Stevens isn't done trading just yet either. I mean, Peyton Pritchard requested a trade last season. Malcolm Brogdon basically got traded. Does he stay or does he go? I mean, that's all questions that need to be answered. And there's rumors been going around that Norman Powell, a guy on the Clippers who is a deadly scorer, a lethal shot creator, play creator. He's just a guy, playmaker. He's a guy that is on the market, available for trade in terms of what the rumors are saying. So is that someone that Brad Stevens could be interested in trading? We all know that Brogdon was supposed to go to the Clippers. Would they give us Norman Powell and, let's say, a Marcus Morris in return for a guy like Malcolm Brogdon? That's also something you got to take in. We'll see what happens, but let me know in the comments what you think. Smash that like button. Subscribe to the channel if you're new. I will be covering the entirety of the NBA offseason, so make sure you guys join the family, turn on post notifications, and I will be live streaming NBA Summer League games as well. So make sure you guys are there for that, and I'll see you guys in the next video. Today's video is brought to you by Pro Class, the absolute best place for you to take your game to the highest level. It's the first of its kind sports training and development platform where you can reach your highest potential by learning from some of the best athletes on the entire planet. Some of these guys include Damian Lillard, De'Aaron Fox, Allen Iverson, DeMar DeRozan, and so many more. And I have some great news for you guys. If you guys go use my code MattyDubs, you'll get 50% off hundreds of training videos, workouts, and drills, and you can get in the lab right now. So go check it out. Go steal some of the secrets from some of the top players in the world right now. And if you are interested in developing your skills at any level, if you play in middle school, high school, college, or if your goal is just to be a better athlete, a better basketball player, this is where you need to go. Nobody else does this. Go check them out, and you can learn, develop your skills at a fast pace, high speed level. Click the link in the description for instant access to all of the secrets in the world. And remember, using code MattyDubs will get you 50% off right now, so don't miss out on this offer.